Hi, everybody, and welcome to our team call for today. It is September 1st, and Emma and I are super excited to have a guest speaker on the call tonight. Her name is Vicki Roberts, and she is a kick-ass four-star diamond coach. Emma actually met her before I did through the Seattle Market Council, and now Vicki and I are both in the four-star diamond group. So we have all just kind of collaborated and worked together. And I actually first heard about Vicki at Super Saturday because she's actually from Washington. She lives in Washington. And her story just completely blew me away. She, like I said, she's four-star diamond. She is a Success Club 10 all-star legend. So for those who don't know what that means, Vicki has hit Success Club 10 for at least 24 months in a row in her business, which is amazing. So she's consistently helping people every single month. And on top of that, she has an amazing transformation. She has lost 130 pounds, which is crazy. Like, that's a person. So, that in itself, I have so much respect for, because honestly, you guys, that's what we're here to do, is help people change their life healthy. It's an amazing example of that. So tonight we are going to be talking about branding you and finding your niche and just being authentic and genuine in your business. Because I know that is something that a lot of you guys said that you're struggling with, is kind of trying to find the right people to speak to and not really knowing who your person is. So that's what Vicki's going to be talking to us tonight about. She did a similar call on our four-star diamond mastermind, and it was awesome. So I'm super excited to have her. And Vicki, I am pretty much just going to throw it over to you. So yeah, I'm going to pin your video and you can get started.
All right. Thank you, love. Thank you guys for letting me hop on tonight and guest speak and share a little tidbit about what has worked for me in my business and my coaches as well. So before I get started, like Alexa said, I am a four-star diamond coach. I've been coaching for 3.5 years. A little bit about my backstory. I got into coaching when I was halfway through my transformation, my weight loss transformation. Back then, I didn't know better, and I thought that the only way you could lose weight is go to the gym for hours at a time and run on the treadmill or the elliptical machine, and never changed my nutrition. Still went to McDonald's before dinner and had my 2 double cheeseburgers and my large fry and Diet Coke, because you got to keep Coke to feel better about yourself, right? But so I was horrible with my nutrition. I ended up losing 60 pounds by working out at the gym all the time in 2 years. And then I found my girlfriend of mine that I've known half my life. She posted a photo of her doing a turbo fire, or her day 1 and day 30 photos of turbo fire. And if any of you guys have known turbo fire, that's my jam. That's my soulmate. But anyways, she posted it and I'm like, okay, girlfriend, you're not an infomercial. Like, I know you. And like, these are actual real results. Like, we've all stayed up in the morning at 2 o'clock in the morning and we've seen, like, okay, how many rounds of 21 Day Fix did that chick actually do? But I knew this girl and I knew her before she started. And I was like that person that would put my foot in the mouth. Like, really, you're doing an at-home workout? Like, okay, who's going to be motivated enough to work out at home? That was me. And as soon as I seen those photos, I kicked myself in the booty. And so I was like, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm tired of this. I hit a plateau. I was still 200 pounds. I already lost 68 pounds. And I was like, I need to do whatever it is that you're doing. And she was like, okay, well, I'm doing this workout and actually I'm drinking this stuff. And like, she was brand spanking new and she didn't really know anything about it. But, and then she was like, and there's this coaching opportunity. And at the time in my life, my son was almost 2 years old and I was in a very unhappy marriage, and I felt like I wasn't anything to anybody except for my son. Like, I needed more purpose in my life to being just a mom. And when she told me about the coaching opportunity, she said, I don't know much about it. I know that we help people. And, like, she used the slogan, ending the trend of obesity. And I'm like, okay, well, I was more morbidly obese. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be ashamed and embarrassed in your own body. And I want to help people to not feel like that. And so I didn't know what the whole coaching thing was, but I was like, I want to be a part of this. I need more purpose in my life. I want to move forward. I want positivity and happiness. And this is what I went with. Didn't know if I was going to be good at it. Didn't know if anyone would listen to anything I had to say, being 200 pounds, trying to do turbo fire, punching myself in the chin. Good God, it was horrible. But I did it. And, you know, I never, ever once changed who I was. And I realized along this journey, we fail. Like with Beachbody, with our workouts, with every single relationship we have in our life, we're going to have our ups and downs. But the one thing that you can always remember is to be yourself and be true to who you are. And that's what I'm going to continue talking about in a little bit. But so, you know, I shared my struggles. I shared everything. I put it out there. I used Facebook as basically my diary. I know a lot of people aren't very comfortable with doing that, but I did because I felt like it helped me be accountable to my own health and fitness, because, you know, I was still 60 pounds overweight. Or not 60 pounds, I was still 50 pounds overweight, and I still had a lot to do, and my nutrition needed to get in check. And fast forward 3.5 years, I have an amazing team, amazing coaches. I am happily unmarried now. I have a happy and healthy son. I'm a 4-star diamond coach. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, so with that being said, oh, and I still love Turbo Fire. And I don't probably punch myself in the chin anymore that I do. So with that being said, I am so big on talking to my team and every coach about branding yourself, being authentic who you are, and not being sorry for who you are. I know a lot of my coaches come to me, and you guys may have the same struggles about like, oh, well, I was talking to somebody and they ended up going with someone else, or they ended up signing up through Beachbody and doing the payment plan, or they bought a program from Amazon or Craigslist or eBay or mom and pop shop swap group or whatever. But the reason that they're going to want you is because the connection they have with you. And how they're going to get that connection with you is you being vulnerable and not being afraid to share the things about you. Each one of you have so many people that can relate to you over anybody else. And I think that's where a lot of us have that fear, like, oh, well, there's so many coaches, or I have so many coaches near me, or my network is small, or, you know, there's so many different concerns. But in reality, there's one person out there that someone's going to connect with better. And that person could be you, but you need to put yourself out there in order to have that option. So I talk a lot about the number 10, the 10 things about you that make you your brand. And Alexa heard this on the call over the masterminds group. So if you guys have a pen, a phone, anything to jot it down, this is my favorite way of helping you build your brand, build the things that make you you, the things that you can share on a daily basis. Because one thing that you guys want to keep in mind is Beachbody is amazing at marketing. They market with their infomercials, their ads, this, that, and the other. You don't need to do any more marketing for Beachbody, for their products, for Shakeology. But you do need to do is market yourself, because that's how people are going to connect with you and want to join you, whether it's with the challenge group or coaching. So make sure that you're always marketing yourself. Don't hide behind the product and be like, hey, I'm drinking my Shakeology today. No, they want to see you. Talk about, you know, I'll get to that. Anyways, okay, 1 through 10. So number 1 through 5 should be your non-negotiables. And what do I mean by this? The things in your life that you actually cannot live without, like your top 5 priorities, whether they're your spouse, religion, your children, you know, what your favorite stress reliever, whatever the things are in your life that you just cannot do without, should be number 1 through 5. Non-negotiables. The next should be 3 of your biggest struggles. And this is lifetime. This could be anything from physical to mental, emotional, financial. And I'm sorry, I have dogs that are super annoying and they bark at the sound of a garage door closing or opening next door. So you might hear them. So your biggest struggles, whether you've overcame them, whether you're still struggling with them, whether they're recurring. And then the last two are the things that can guarantee make you happy. This is like listening to live music, hanging out with girlfriends, getting a pedicure, playing an instrument, singing, playing with your dogs, your children, anything that you know that you can turn to when you're in a crummy mood or you want to cry your eyes out or whatever it is, you can turn to and it will instantly put a smile on your face. Now, these 10 things on here, this is who you are as a whole. This is your priorities. This is your struggles. These are the things that make you happy. These are the things that's made you sad. These are the things that are you. And so when you're talking about anything on social media and you're sharing a simple post, make sure you're incorporating something about one of those 10 in your post. Another way to incorporate that in your post is, I don't know if you guys ever talked about your ideal customer, and it should be someone just like you. And my favorite thing is when you don't know what to post because you're concerned about what your audience wants to hear, you should actually post what you need to hear. I always keep that in mind because there's days in the morning, my favorite time in the morning is to post a motivational quote because that's when I need it the most. Am I sitting there thinking, oh, I wonder what they need today? Because all the people that are following me have similarities to me because I've put myself out there and I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. So I know that they're going to need an extra swift kick in the butt in the morning. And so I'm going to give it to them just like I need it. So I'm going to say, you know what? This is what I'm struggling with this morning. This is what I'm going to put up there. And then so many people are like, oh my God, you totally spoke to me today. Oh my God, girl, you got me. And I'm like, well, duh, because you're like me and, we get each other. So, speak to like you're speaking to yourself, like a mirror image, but keep it positive. No negative self-talk. But when you're talking about your ideal customer, the things that you connect with the most, if you're a mom, maybe you want someone who's in the age range 5 years younger than you and 5 years older than you and have 1 or 2 children. And, like me, mine would be someone who struggled with self-love, someone who is a single parent, someone who struggled with unhappy relationships, someone who gives their all in every relationship, likes loud music, tattooed, looks intimidating, but cries at a drop of a hat. Like these are the things that make me me, and I'm unapologetic for it because why try to be something I'm not? You're going to struggle more if you try to be like somebody else than put your true self out there. I'm telling you guys this. And I know sometimes you think, oh, well, Alexa's doing so awesome. I'm going to go copy exactly what she's doing. Or, oh, Emma's rocking this. I'm going to go do Emma. No, because if the true followers follow you, they're going to be like, oh, that's not really you. What are you doing? You don't talk like that, silly. You got to be yourself. Like I always give my coaches templates and videos and things like this. And I'm like, you got to turn it into your own though, because it's coming from you. If you copy and paste something from someone else, the people that are going to be conversating with you prior to that, they're going to read it different and it's not going to feel good. So chances of them trusting you and wanting to move forward is not going to happen. So be yourself and put yourself into everything, whether it's an email or a post or a voice text or everything. Yeah. Be authentic. Now, I know that being vulnerable is something that we all have struggled with. And I don't know if there's any guys on here, so I'm sorry, but I talk to the masses of the women, so excuse me. So women struggle with being vulnerable because I don't know if any of you had high school experience like I did, but being in a big group of women or being around a group of women, there's a lot of cattiness, a lot of cliques, a lot of negative talk, and being a Beachbody coach, I have now seen like we empower each other, we encourage each other, but not everyone that follows you is a Beachbody coach. So there's always that fear of you putting yourself out there and being vulnerable and sharing something so intimate and so scary and so insecure of yours. that you're afraid of that negative feedback from anybody. No matter if it's just Bill Nye the Science Guy like showing up on your page, or like Joe Schmo, whoever it is. You don't even know this buddy, but he's going to come on your page and he's going to say something that you don't like, and you're afraid of that. So you hold back. But I am telling you, there's going to be negative people. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't change the way they say it, but you can change your reaction. But I guarantee you, for every one negative comment you get, you're going to help 100 people. You got to remember that when you share your struggles, or when you share your smallest progress or your smallest successes, this is going to help so many people. People that don't even like or comment on your photos, they see your posts still. When you're talking about how you just overcame a struggle that is so intimate and so insecure that you're afraid to share, just think of how many people you are helping. You know, I've posted a lot of, I used to be super crazy and wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do workouts. I'm trying to get back into that. But I would have, you know, there would be like maybe 10 likes on my early morning videos. And then I stopped doing it. And people would message me that I never even seen like or comment on anything of mine. They would be like, what happened to your videos? Because when you used to post those at 5 o'clock in the morning, I would get out of bed and I would start working out. And I was like, whoa, what? Like, why didn't you like my stuff? Like, shoot. But, you know, like, you never know who is actually watching until you stop doing what you're doing, or you stop being you. So don't be fearful of the negative or what's holding you back. Put yourself out there and don't be afraid. And if you need to, which I suggest, do it in small chunks. I'm not saying you have to go all out and just like unload your entire story of all of your struggles in one post. Sprinkle each struggle, sprinkle each aspect into your posts so you're sharing gradually. Because every day you're going to have new friends. Every day you're going to have new followers. And so as you gradually sprinkle your story in, every new person, every old person, they're going to continue to stay along because they're going to see that you're real. Now I'm going to tell you guys. So like I said at the beginning of this, I would post everything like it was my diary. Like if I'm not going to post it on social media, I'm not going to eat it. That's going to help me stay eating clean. If I'm, you know, if I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to post, or if I'm not going to post it, I'm not going to do something. So I talked about my unhappy marriage. One day after I asked my husband for a divorce, I've been an emotional eater. I'm not going to lie. I eat my feelings. And I went to a girlfriend's house. I was pissed and I was eating, there was a huge extra pepperoni, cheese, pizza, and I had an angry orchard. And I was like, oh my God, no one's going to see my dinner post tonight. What did I do? I took a picture of my beer and my pizza and I said, I'm eating my feelings tonight, but tomorrow I'm going to kick ass in my workout. That was me. I was being unapologetic. Dude, I got like 400 likes on that thing. People were saying, oh my God, it's so good to see that you're not a robot. And, oh, you don't just eat celery all day and da 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 da. Like, that's how people were connecting because I shared a struggle of mine. Like, yes, I'm an emotional eater. Yes, I still struggle with that. But you know what? Tomorrow's going to be a new day and I'm brushing it off and I'm restarting. You know, so I had a positive spin to it, but I was sharing who I was. I was sharing my struggle. I was sharing positivity aspect and part of my story. And so many people connected with me because I was real, because they realized I was human, because they realized I don't always follow the 21-day fix. Sorry, Autumn. But, you know, you got to be real. You got to put yourself out there. And if you don't, less people are going to be attracted to you because they're not having that connection. They're not finding out how they're similar with you. Because when you think about it, go back to when you started your very first journey. No matter what your goal was to achieve, why did you want support? Or who did you want support from? Did you want support from someone that you connected with, that knew your struggles, that knew what it was like? Or did you want some buff Italian guy from the gym to tell you to do 150 push-ups? And no, you wanted someone you could connect with and to help you and encourage you, so you know that they've been through the struggle. They know what it's like. And so you can have that connection. But if you guys don't put that out there, people aren't going to be able to get that connection with you. And that's why it's so important. And on top of all, don't apologize. Never, ever, ever apologize for being who you are. I can't tell you guys, every time I get on a GSR Zoom with one of my new coaches and they start crying, they're like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, I cry all the time. There's no reason to be sorry. See, likes attracts likes. All my coaches are criers because I'm a crier. Surprised I haven't cried yet. But no, don't apologize for who you are, because why? That's who you are. You are who you are, and people are connecting with you. People love you for you. And it's easier to be who you are. It's so much harder to try to be someone else. I know you hear fake it till you make it. Yeah, I don't believe it. Just be you. Be you. And on social media, be you times 10. Put yourself out there. And I have to, Victoria, she is on my team. She's an amazing coach, and she told me a lot of coaches were struggling with sharing their before and after photos because of the before photo, right? We've all had that fear of posting that before photo because it's where we were. And it was embarrassing no matter what we looked like. So she said that the way she looked at sharing her before photo was like a release. Like, here, I'm owning up to this. This is who I was, and I will never go back to that. And as soon as she hit that enter button, it was like a weight lifted off her shoulders. So I always tell people that, because that's what it is. Like, once you put it out there, I mean, you can't get it back. I mean, yeah, there's a delete button, but someone's going to see it. But when you own up to something like that, you're more likely to stay accountable to your own health and fitness, but you're letting other people in. And you're getting involved with other people because you're sharing your journey, you're sharing your struggles, you're sharing your before and showing them what's possible. And so they're connecting with you. Oh yeah, another thing that I wanted to talk about is when you're sharing things about you, don't be afraid to talk about your faults, your struggles, and most importantly, share small successes. New people that follow you, or prospects, or brand new coaches, they're more likely to relate to you with small successes. Like, if you're a coach and you're like, oh yeah, I just made $1,000 this week, your new coach is going to be like, oh man, that'd be super cool, but how do I do that? You know, but if you say like, oh, I just made $50, or I just got my first paycheck, then they're going to be like, oh, that's so exciting. Like, I can't wait to get mine, you know? Or if you talk about like, oh, I just lost a pound this week, or I was able to drink my goal of water, or, you know, little things, or I dropped a pant size, or, you know, whatever. When you share those small successes, the masses are going to be related. What? The masses are going to relate to them more than you sharing the big successes. And I'm not saying discount or don't discount the big successes, because those are important too. But when you're sharing the small successes, like every day or once a week or whatever, then you're creating that excitement and the realistic things that people can see to make them want to move forward with Beachbody, whether it's joining as a coach or a challenger or whatnot. So that's all I have.
Sorry. Let me go back to my thing. That was so awesome, Vicki. I legitimately was just like texting Emma. I was like, this is so good, and it's only just starting. I hope you guys were taking lots of notes, and I'm recording this, so make sure to watch the recording if you need to recap or whatever. But I really loved everything that you touched on. I loved what you said about the small successes, because I think I can relate to you with the weight loss thing. I've lost 80 pounds. You lost 130 pounds. But sometimes with me sharing that, people are like, whoa, 80 pounds? Like, that is like, that's a lot. Like, I don't know if I could ever do that. You know what I mean? So, and of course I talk about that, but just like you said, it's so much more relatable. So when you're sharing the small things along the way. So for all of you guys out there who have a full journey in front of you, if you're a brand new coach, or if you've been a coach for years and you still have a ways to go, I feel like you are at an advantage in this business because you can share those small successes along the way as you work towards your big success. So make sure you're, just taking people through that and sharing that. I love that you talked about that, because I feel like sometimes we kind of think that big successes are what is going to draw people to you, when really it's the opposite. It's the small things, because those are the things that people can relate to. So I love that. Everything you said was great. Do any of you guys have any questions? I can put it on gallery view here. I don't know if any of you guys have any questions. You can either unmute yourself or use the chat box if you want. But if anybody has any questions for Vicki, please go ahead and ask. Anyone?
Yeah, because this chick is the shit. Sorry if there's kids around, but hi. Yeah, seriously, that call was amazing. I mean, I took notes. I definitely love the 10 ways to help build your brand. I've never thought of looking at like that before, and I think that is such a great a blueprint kind of to really just go off of your brand and what's really important, because we always think about those things, but I think having them written down is going to really help a lot.
I love that too. When she did that on our mastermind, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I want to do it with all my coaches. Loved it. Can you repeat the 10 things again?
Oh yes. So number 1 through 5 is non-negotiable. So, whoa, I just got super big. So your top priorities. And then 6 through 8 would be your biggest struggles, whether they're current or you overcame them. And then 9 and 10 would be the things that make you happy, the things that can guarantee put a smile on your face.
Love it. Any other questions, you guys? I'm just seeing everyone was loving this call. I loved it too. This is going to be great. I'm going to put it on the team website, and I'll post it in the team page and in Emma's as well. Any last minute questions, you guys?
Thank you so much, Vicki. Like, seriously, I'm so happy you're able to do this.
Yeah.
I love your face.
Thank you so much. We seriously appreciate it. Nobody has any other questions. I'm going to stop the recording. So thanks for everybody for watching the recording.